Good morning. It's Monday. It's another start of the week. Weather is nice and hot here in Dubai as usual. Oh, bus. Um, yeah, yesterday, Sunday, I went to the beach with Danny after doing the CrossFit training in the morning. My energy levels were a little bit low, but then luckily, well, I had a little bit of pre-workout after the workout just to recover. Maybe it's not the best thing, but it did help get my spirits back up. And we headed to Jumeirah Beach where we took a bike and well, Danny took a scooter after failing to get on the back of my bike. So he took a scooter. Must have looked pretty weird. But yeah, we headed out to the beach and we did some interviews with random people to see if that, you know, leads to anything interesting. Of course, it's always hit and miss. Some people are a bit, camera shy, or they find it weird that two guys with gimbal and some microphones. I guess it may not be the best place when you're like in bikini and you're being asked to answer interview questions, especially the ones that are by themselves. Maybe we should focus more on groups of people. They generally don't feel as perhaps intimidated than the ones that are by themselves. I don't know. It might be the same if I'm at the beach and like some random two guys come and ask me questions. So yeah, that's what we did. And then in the evening, I had a chat with my family. I was on a call with my mom and my son. My son was playing a game, and at first he was a little bit distracted. But then he is looking forward. They already set up the Christmas tree. It's in about a week from now. I'm going to be flying home, and I'm looking forward to seeing my little guy. I'm also looking forward to the fact my mom wanted to visit Dubai, because I was looking into what to do now. Like I was considering going to perhaps Malta or someplace where they have a Club Med. I had this idea in my head that it might be fun to visit Club Meds in different parts of the world. It might also become a video series at some point. I had that idea for traveling with friends, to do it for Selina, for instance. I really like their concept, where you get like classes and co-working, and you meet a lot of interesting entrepreneurial people. Same kind of thing might have applied for Club Med visits. To do. They have a lot of sporting facilities, and then like an all-inclusive formula. And the sports are all included, as far as I understand, with Club Med. All of the sports are included. They had one in Cancun, which unfortunately I never had I heard something about it, but I never had the chance to visit before I left. They have like a full-size trapeze, which would have been very interesting to try out. So yeah, my mom will be visiting. I'll be showing her the stuff in Dubai that I've been waiting to check out. I've been wanting to go to the Science Museum, for instance, but I wanted to make sure that Mateo would be there for my first visit. So yeah, fun things to look forward to. I just completed a workout. I did gymnastics for about 45 minutes. Just some basics like handstands, some core. My abs are completely destroyed from this weekend, the other workouts. So I like it when, you know, you move and you feel the stretch and the burn. Means you worked. I then did some cycling and some like squats and some stretching. I kept it easy because I don't want to go overboard. I feel like I need a couple days, a week to take it slower and make sure I can recover a bit, since I went harder than usual perhaps on Saturday and Sunday. I felt my body could use it. So I tend to listen to my body. I think it's a good indicator most of the time. So today I woke up to find that cryptocurrency took the long-awaited dip, like correction that we all should have known was coming. So it's no surprise. What was a surprise was to find that I had put in a margin order for 2.5 Bitcoin at 40,000 approx, $40,000, and it was filled. And when I woke up, Bitcoin was at like 42,800. So it's up about, right now I checked my phone, it's like $4,000 profit. So I kind of hope it matches or it meets my sell level without dipping too much further. That would be a nice overnight profit if that happens. Fingers crossed. The one crypto that has weathered the storm, everything that I'm tracking seems to be down, except for Avalanche. I think that's because a lot of venture capitalists and probably a lot of retail people are kind of piling into Avalanche right now because of the prospects for gaming. So I put in some margin orders also in case it does dip. Then hopefully I can scoop some up as well. I also still have the daily purchase to DCA into Avalanche, because I think it's one of the coins that's gonna probably do best during this upcoming bull run. The last thing I'd like to talk about today is about this video that I saw yesterday by Juji Mufu. Is that how you say it? Juji Mufu, something like that. He's this like tricker who became a bodybuilder, and I've been following him for ages on YouTube. I really like his attitude towards life, you know, his quirkiness. He does all kinds of crazy shit. If you don't know him, look him up. He has some really funny videos. So yeah, he recently uploaded a video where he is undergoing a hair transplant, and by coincidence my roommate Danny was asking about that the other day, like what I think about it. And it's the first time that I've like talked about that, like openly admitted it, except for like, you know, to girlfriends or stuff like that. With friends I generally tend to avoid the subject unless they bring it up, but with him, like, he didn't seem to have a clue, for which I'm glad, because I always thought it was like a lot more obvious than it perhaps is now. The fact that I have had a hair transplant, and I had it before I started taking finasteride. You know, he was asking if I thought it was a good idea to get a hair transplant, and I told him that it would be best to first start finasteride to see if you tolerate it properly, because if you go ahead and get a hair transplant, you know, there's limited donor hairs, and once you start that route, you basically can't stop. You know, the front of your hairline would be very dense, and if you have to chase after the hair loss, it's going to look unnatural at times, and you have to go back every time the hair recedes further. So it's very important that you start the medication first, see that you don't have any severe side effects. And I would say, you know, it's going to regrow a bit, so maybe you'll be happy with the way it looks. I wish I would have had that advice, or I probably read it at the time and chose to ignore it. But yeah, I wish I would have seen more testimonials of people who actually went through the experience. So that's the advice I gave him, and I would give anyone who's considering it. Like, first try finasteride, see if it improves your problem, and only then consider a transplant. But keep in mind, you know, there's no going back from that. I personally wish I never went through with one. Like, had I just taken finasteride, I'm pretty convinced that I would have grown accustomed to the way it looked. And in fact, when they did a transplant, they, you know, even though I was very specific about how I wanted the hairline, they kind of pressured me anyway into getting it much lower than I wanted it, just to, you know, upsell me in terms of grafts. And yeah, I really didn't like the way it came in. You know, I have, like, on the sides of my head, I have like much darker, coarser hair, and they use that in the temples, which looks to me very unnatural. So for years I was trying to undo a lot of the damage, I could say, that they had done. And still now I'm not entirely satisfied with the result. I don't think it looks the way it should. So perhaps I'm gonna get like a final treatment. Basically to take away the grafts that were placed too low, which currently I have to, like, you know, still pluck out manually, because there are a lot of them, you know, some have been treated with like electrolysis, how do you say that? But yeah, some are still growing too low for my tastes.